And we're here with Tuesday, and I got
Coach Dee.
and we're gonna start having talks, and we named it what, bro?
You gotta heal.
Ooh, you gotta heal.
You gotta heal.
Ooh, you gotta heal. Definitely. But we're gonna be talking about uplifting things. Nothing to tell people down. Just challenging the way that you think, and you get to pick my brain. You get to pick Coach D brain. Just really a great person. Tell them about yourself, B.
Man, what's up, y'all? Tuesday, my dog, man. Like, we kindred spirits. I thought I didn't just say that.
I felt that. You took my, you know what I'll be saying.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, but no, I'm your girl, Coach D, and I do a lot of things in the community. I am an entrepreneur, an influencer, author, model. You know, I'm just really big on just self-love and inner healing, especially being a masculine-centered queer woman representation. Just wanted to showcase that and show that we can live authentically and unapologetically no matter what. So I'm really big on community. So if you know me, you know me. If you don't, you about to know me. But that's what I do. I'm just being a light for the community, because we need that shit.
Nah, for real. Like, you ever met that one person that's just like, you talk to them for 3 hours and you barely even know them, but it felt like you knew them for like ever. That's really how me and D was from the jump. And like, since I've been with them, like, it's nothing but love and community, and honestly just not being selfish. You know what I mean? It's like some people could be selfish with the sauce or selfish with the energy, and it's like you have to have discernment. But all the time, like, you gotta realize that you gotta bless other people too.
That part.
And you gotta know who to bless. You know what I mean? So it's like,
that part.
Since I met D, it's just been nothing but like that. We've been hanging out. I even cook for this man sometimes.
Yeah, and I be enjoying it, shit, because Tuesday, I be busy, and I be, I like to, be cooked for. She didn't even know that. But hey, that's love, you know what I'm saying?
Love.
And we mutually respect each other in that way. And I think we had talked about when we first met how, Tuck, you good? He do got fancy. This is Tucker, y'all. This is Tucker.
Hey, Tuck.
We had talked about how, especially being Masc Presenting, how a lot of us, we don't get along, we don't vibe, we standoffish and shit.
That part.
But to, meet somebody right off and feel like, let's connect, let's just get to know each other, no expectations.
None.
I mean, that's beautiful.
That's
beautiful.
It is. And to be honest, they have a stigma around us. Like, I know y'all watch the show Hoochie Daddies. Right? They have that stigma around us.
Hoochie Daddies.
All the
All the way live.
Everybody be singing that song, and like, those girls are definitely lit. But I was talking to D, and D gave me a different outlook on it. At first, D was like, that representation, and I was like, I get what you're saying. It's the stigma of what people look at us to be all the time. And I'm realizing that we have different sides, like literally different sides to us. And it's like, it's not always that side. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, of course, we say shout out to Woody, because to see us represented like that, as we both talked about, you don't see that, but I was just like, man, in my aspect, and this has been with anything, like, I like to showcase the growth and the healing. Now, there's nothing wrong with the entertainment and all that, but I feel like when we're fighting and we're against each other, that's not showcasing unity. You feel me? And I think a lot of us probably, when we get like that, we don't have the outlet or the words, or maybe we are not getting the maybe guidance or mentorship or therapy or whatever it is that we need to have those outlets to understand our emotions, to create these safe spaces, if that makes sense.
But it makes sense.
I love the representation. I think I'm just on a mission to see us represented in more of a positive light, where we are actually like showing unity. Even if we going through some shit, the bros can sit down and be like, hey, being vulnerable and shit you going through. Because we do that. We have talks, me and my other bros. We have talks. Come on, Tuck. Now you gotta go. Sorry about that. we have talks and we go through things, but we're able to have a safe space where we can cry together or we can express our anger about things, but it's showcasing unity. You feel me? So I don't know. I think that's just been my perspective about it.
Nah, I understand that. I think it's also too, like I was telling you, like by us being represented, just in general, it's a great thing. Woody got a great platform, and shout out to Woody, definitely. Man, if you know what it derived from, she wanted to be on Bad Girls Club. You feel
And
me?
I didn't even know this shit, so she gave
so
me more information.
It's like when you get the context behind you, like, oh, that's why, like, you know, certain things are that way. But also shout out to her for shouting out businesses.
Right,
because
right.
most of these girls have businesses, and she shout out so many businesses during the season. So I can't wait to see what you come out with next, bro.
Right, right.
But definitely, like, maybe we should one day start telling those stories on our view and give the world another side of that Masc Dom, LGBTQ, Black. To be honest, like, we're here and our stories need to be told, and they need to be told by us.
Right, right.
Yeah, we have to control the narrative, man.
We do.
We have to control the narrative.
And that's why with even one of my businesses, Masc Gym Bosses, which, we are all a part of. It's a beautiful community for us masc lesbians, us trans masc or non-binary that are masculine represented to come together as community leaders, entrepreneurs, influencers, and really have that space of empowerment and put each other in these spaces so you can know about each other's communities and businesses, and we're having these healing conversations and just really talking about our experiences, because it's not easy out here as a mask. Like, for stud, we go through some shit. We do. We go through some shit.
We go through a lot that I think people don't really realize. Like, I always mention this. We're females first. We're Black. And then to add on top of that, you're gay. Like, you got expectations not only from the world, but from your family, from the people in your community. Like, all these expectations that's placed upon you, and sometimes it could be hard to be yourself or find yourself. And you find yourself in these toxic situations, relationships. You find yourself not accepting things for what it is right now, and being strong in your decisions. You doubt yourself. A lot. Yeah. But it's not until, like, you get a community like Masc Gym Bosses to where you can understand, like, man, we all go through that, but we could still be here for each other and not have malicious intent towards each other. We could look out for each other. Not only looking out for each other, but treat the ladies kind and do the things you need to do to heal. Right. Because you gotta heal.
You gotta heal. That self-love factor is everything.
Yes.
If you know me and, just what I'm about, that's what I'm about. Like, loving yourself is the key to all of this. Healing your own shit. Like, whatever that may look like. Not being afraid to heal. Not being afraid to feel. Because a lot of us don't want to feel that shit. But, like, that's that driving force. That's
all right, y'all. So, not to cut you off, bro, but we got a word from our sponsors, y'all. We'll be right back with the second half.
What's up, y'all? So this episode is sponsored by Masc Gym Bosses. I'm the founder and CEO of Masc Gym Bosses, and we are a LGBTQ community of masc lesbians, trans masc, or non-binary folks who identify as masculine presenting. And we are here to showcase authenticity unapologetically through our community influence, our entrepreneurship, and our leadership. And so y'all can follow us, find us on Instagram, Masc Gent Bosses, that's MASC Gent, GENT, Bosses, all one word. Follow us, and hey, you never know, you may be our next feature. All right, y'all, so welcome back to You Gotta Heal. I mean, we was connected, man, in that first part. So we gonna keep this dialogue going, this healing conversation going. Really just diving into things that we experience as masc presenting and that we don't talk about.
Hold up, what my yak?
What yak?
The yak.
That's your yak. That's your yak.
The passport is simple.
I'm on this water right now because I had ceremony last night. Got an award. Got a little litty.
Yeah.
So I'm recovering today.
Wait, time out. Let's talk about this award, okay? Like, let's show them this award. This is a Crystal award, y'all.
Let me show y'all this award. Y'all
nah, for real.
So, I was awarded.
Yes.
We here in Dallas, Texas, representing the LGBTQ Community Award. You know, at the 27th Toast of Life Gala that it was hosted by the Resource Center, which I am an influencer for here in Dallas. They're one of the largest queer nonprofits, LGBTQ resource centers for our community. And I partnered with them last year, bridging the gap with our QT BIPOC community here in Dallas, and became an influencer there, the first within months. And now we've been doing a lot of healing work. And like what Tuesday and I are talking about right now is so prevalent, because building that community for us is needed, it's necessary. And I've been able to do that and bring others in, such as Tuesday, other creatives, entrepreneurs, like we talked about in the first part, like bringing us together to show that we are here, that we are here. We don't have to hide. We here and we matter.
Also, put your money where your mouth is, really.
Man.
A lot of times we want to support people, and don't get me wrong, support come in many forms.
Many forms.
But even in the Bible, they tell you where you spend your money is where your heart is. So, like, I really feel like the hearts that we share is hearts for the Black community. Not only Black community, we love every community, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But our community is so underrepresented. So we have to be loud and bold about who we are and what we stand for.
Yes.
You agree?
Yeah, hell yeah, I agree.
Like, definitely, bro.
That's why you gotta heal.
You gotta heal.
It's so important,
I'm about to throw you off, D. Totally right now. So, was there ever, like, any body part that you was ashamed of? And, like, did it affect you, like, sexually?
Ooh. Man, so I got a book, y'all. I got 3 books, actually. And I got a book, my second book, Heal That Shit. We talking about you gotta heal, right? So this the perfect segue to this. And Heal That Shit, in the 3rd chapter of it, my breakthrough, I talk about body dysmorphia. I talk about like what I felt about myself growing up and how I use sports. And I played basketball growing up, so a lot of y'all Masc or studs may relate. Yeah. I was bullied as a child for being I'm a petite woman, and I was bullied as a child for being so small, and even they made fun of my teeth, little shit like that, right? And so I always had my eyes are green, like I ain't all up in the camera, but I have green eyes.
That's my context, y'all. And
I now know through my healing that it's a beautiful attribute that I have. But the kids were so fucking mean in elementary school and shit. They would call me alien eyes, weird eyes, and so I believed that. 'Cause I thought, man, something wrong with me, right?
Yeah.
So I struggled with these things until I got into sports. I struggled with being small, petite. I struggled with my teeth. I struggled with my eyes. These were things that were like I was ashamed of. But when I got into sports, basketball, and I found that I was good, and I became an athlete, the bullying stopped.
Because the confidence came, like.
But I suppressed all those other emotions and feelings because I was playing ball, and I feel like I got this confidence. People was liking me. They like, oh, she who, she this, she that. They didn't see all those other things that I was bullied for a long time, right? And I never even talked to nobody about this shit, like as a child or teenager. I never even said nothing about it until I started my healing journey later on. But yeah, these were things that I was ashamed of, and it wasn't until God put me in a space in my life after college where God took basketball away. Like I got into an incident. We can talk about that. We can talk about that later.
No, y'all get the book.
Get the book. Heal that shit. Man, I should have had some with me right now. I got some with it. But it wasn't until God started taking me on this healing journey and stripped basketball away from me that I was left to deal with them traumas. childhood traumas, but that was a part of my childhood.
You still ain't tell me what body part. Don't
I said my eyes, my petiteness,
okay,
my teeth, like these were things that I was ashamed of. See, that nigga ain't paying.
I'm paying attention.
I know, because I'm trying to get y'all a story here.
No, I got you.
But I struggled with that when basketball was stripped away and I didn't have that to hide behind.
Yeah.
I neglected myself in a lot of ways, and I hid things. I didn't even show my eyes a lot. I wore shades. Yeah, and when people I was talking to, chicks, they be, man, you got some pretty eyes. And I hid them.
Oh, that's crazy. Cause usually I hear the opposite with people with pretty eyes. Like, oh, your eyes are so pretty. Like, oh, everybody always says that.
They do when they see them, but when they see them, they be like, what the? Because I didn't show them. I always wanted to hide them and I didn't realize, why do I do this until I went on my healing journey, right? But
I got you.
As I've been healing that shit and I started healing that shit, I started to accept myself for who I was, everything about me, you know, and that's been a journey. And I know somebody probably gonna relate to that, but I started looking in the mirror, speaking affirmations, just loving myself. Of course, got in therapy, all those things, but it really has taken me affirming myself and believing in myself and healing those traumas that I didn't deal with.
And I can say the same about myself, because mine has always been my breasts, like, on some real talk. And it's just like, don't get me wrong, when I look at my body, I'm like, damn, it's proportional. So I'm like, if I ever like just decided to cut them off, like, does it not make me a girl? Or like how does it make me look to myself? Or what psychological aspects would that have on me? And then I'm like, at the same time, like, how do girls look at it? Or, you know what I mean? Like, guys look at me a little too much because I got a lot of titties and ass, you know what I mean? And then it's hard to wear, like, certain clothes I want. But at the end of the day, like, I'm starting to learn, you just gotta own your shit.
You do, man. You gotta
own your shit, and, like, it's okay.
It is
to be you. Like, I really started to get in touch with myself and God, and I'm learning that, like, God made you perfect.
Man, just
the way you are, just the way you are. And, like, to be real, you not gonna be everybody cup of tea. Cause think about it, when you go out, you can see buku people that you will not be trying to talk to or be in contact with for real, like on that level. So you're not gonna be everybody cup of tea. So you can't expect that. And you can't be entitled to that. So all you can do is work on yourself. Like, so what I do now is I eat a lot cleaner. You know what I mean? Like, I could keep my weight to a minimum. I buy myself actually nice shirts. You know what I mean? Where I can control how I look. And then also, like, how you talk about yourself. The walk that you carry within yourself. Like,
all that.
That's what it's about. And, like, even though I'm masculine presenting, I am still a woman. I am still feminine. I still need to be led at times. You see what I'm saying? Like, not all the time that I feel like I need to be the leader on every single situation. But I'm not about to let you lead me to the ditch neither, if that make any sense. So if you look like you staring off, I might have to grab the wheel from you and like tell you sit in the passenger seat right now. But like I said, I'm still feminine and I still have love languages and there's things that I need. You know what I mean? So
I love that. I love that. And I know somebody about to relate to that because this is stuff that we don't talk about. Like, that's why we are creating this space and of safety, because there's others that feel this same shit. This is what I do when I have these events and we have these spaces and we talking about our experiences and our feelings. You find that, oh man, I'm not alone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're not.
And Tuesday said it right. Like, you have to just accept yourself and love yourself and say, you know what, this is how God made me. And when you start thinking like that, it actually puts you in a space to create healthier habits. And I like to say, y'all see us, you know. Tuesday just told you about how she felt about her weight. I'm telling you, we're opposite, but we still are accepting ourselves and having confidence in ourselves. And we're not out here, because most people think when it comes to like being healthy, you gotta be super skinny. Or some people will tell me that I'm too skinny, you know. And it's like, health is within. Health is like, how are you really just taking care of yourself for you from the inside
also,
out?
are you walking? Are you being physical? Because this is the thing.
These
like,
things too.
To be honest, like, y'all, I used to be like, I think like 240. And I'm nowhere near 240 anymore. But it's the simple fact of like, I worked on my mental mindset first to get down to where I want to be. Now, am I where I want to be for real? For real, no.
Yeah, you keep working on it. Yeah,
you keep working, but at the same time, like, don't think that success is like this, because it's never gonna be like that.
Man,
success is a road. You're gonna go up and down. Sometimes you're gonna be like this for a long damn time, and then you're gonna spike up. Yeah, it's gonna be at one. I'm just telling you, like,
you have a dip in the valley, and you just gotta
you gotta show up, and then not only like you gotta show up for yourself, you gotta show up for your family, you gotta show up for your woman, you gotta show up for everything that you believe in, and that's what me and Dee are literally healing to do. So thank y'all so much for listening to us. Y'all tune back in.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, heal that shit.